This is interesting. Mother Jones is reporting that Democrats want to take the fate of unemployment out of Mitch McConnell's hands. A temporary enhancement to unemployment benefits are set to sunset at the end of July. Senate Democrats are proposing a permanent extension, one that would automatically adjust with changing economic conditions, a changing leftward shift among the party's leadership as it navigates the country's economic recovery to face the pandemic. The proposal, which came from Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Juan Wyden of Oregon, would continue the current $600 per week boost to unemployment benefits to states until a state's 3-month average total unemployment rate falls below 11%. The enhanced benefit would then increase by 100 for every percentage point decrease in the unemployment rate. For example, while the rate is above 10%, the boost would be 500. If the rate is above 9%, the boost would be 400. States would resume their pre-COVID-19 once the unemployment rate falls below 6%. So look, I have mixed feelings about this, and I don't want to be too critical of it because absolutely it's a good proposal given where we're at, and it would help a lot of people. So that's the most important thing. The thing is, though, you in what army right now? I mean, if they effectively nationalize it and they're going to have to simplify it, if they're going to go out and campaign on it, please, my God, don't talk about the corresponding drop with the different rates of unemployment. Just say, we're trying to make this unemployment extension permanent and automatic, something more analogous to food stamps, if I'm reading it correctly, which is just a sort of automatic kick in. And they should be fighting on drastically increasing food stamps as well, by the way. If they make it simple, it could be a very effective thing to campaign on nationally against not only Trump, but all Republicans, because they will oppose this. The problem I have with it tactically is they will pass something else because Republican senators are in trouble, because Donald Trump is in trouble. But Mitch McConnell is still the master of the Senate. He still controls the process entirely. So the first thing is that it's very likely not to be this generous. And also, again, this expansion is a huge credit to Bernie Sanders. This is the most tangible thing that helped real people. That's because of Bernie's important activity during the CARES Act. But the bottom line trade-off was immediate alleviation of suffering to some extent, not nearly enough, because of course we need rent freezes, rent forgiveness, rent moratoriums. We needed those $2,000 a month checks for everybody, like Rashida Tlaib was working along again with Sanders. But there was some immediate relief in these unemployment checks, of course. And then the trade-off was that over 90%, 95% of the bill was just the structural consolidation of monopoly capitalism in this country and another massive infusion through the Treasury and the Fed with no job guarantees and labor protections for the most powerful corporations in the country. So, I want to see what the corresponding work on corporate issues are from the Senate Democrats. I suspect there'll be very little, although there'll be, this and that proposal from people like Sanders. And this gets wonky when it needs to be really simple in terms of messaging. And we'll see. We'll see how much can be clawed out in negotiation with McConnell. But that's not all bad. I mean, I have to give a critical analysis, but I'm glad to see them finally pushing something that's relatively beneficial and simple.
Yeah, sure. But we have not seen the bottom of this crisis yet. And the kinds of measures that will need to be taken to actually make a difference, I just think they're out of the scope of the Democratic Party's ideology and abilities. But, I want to be hopeful. The level of international coordination that it's going to require to really beat this thing back is also, I don't see it happening. But, pressure makes diamonds. So a girl could dream.
We'll see. We shall see. All right.